Kids on airplanes. You've all been on that flight where you got the kids screaming in the background and all you want to do is take a nap. Jody Joe here, eye in the box over there. Those of you who follow us on social media, you know we love the travel. So the question we put on social media is this. Do you think airlines should offer flights that are kid-free? Or what is your trip for traveling with children? Have you had a problem? Have you seen other people have a problem? We've got all kinds of things to talk about on this edition of The Brew. We've got a whole stack here of answers, too. I was surprised. You guys really enjoyed this topic. So that's the question for this show. So, Joel, what do you think about kids and flying, and should there be adults-only flights? I mean, how can they be entertained? What are your thoughts about that?
I think parents with kids under the age of 10 should have to do what you have to do when you go to Utah and you want to bring alcohol in. You got to fill out paperwork and you got to apply for like all kinds of shit and go through a bunch of hoops. I think you should have to do that shit if you're bringing kids on planes because they annoy the shit out of everyone and it's no one's fault but yours.
Interesting comment. And we had several viewers that share my view put in this one, so I'm going to read them right now. Really Matt Treat says, I think airlines should make flights available where kids under the age of 12 are not allowed to fly. The airline could charge extra like they like to do, and I'm sure a lot of people would pay extra for that. And Star also comments, there are hotels that have done it for years, and now cruise lines too. Why not an airline? It's really not new to the travel industry. And Clever NOI Handle will wrap it up says, I would, but not like an excessive amount, maybe $25 one way or something. That I agree with. I would pay, say, $25, $50 more to have kid-free flights. I mean, would you, Joel? Would you pay a little bit extra for that?
It depends. It depends if it's a packed flight. But, yeah, I mean, if it's like half of the people are in there, then you can just move. It's not that big of a deal. But if it's a packed flight, I definitely would. Like a long flight across the country, definitely.
Right. Like, I would pay extra, too, but within reason, like, definitely not more than $100. And then, look, you understand when you do travel that there are destinations where kids and families are going to go. Orlando, for example, they're going to Disney, so you would expect that. But what brought this conversation up is not my last trip to Vegas, one before, I was on the 6 a.m. flight from Vegas back here to Newark, and it was 6 a.m., and a woman had a baby just screaming the whole way. Let me tell you, there were about 100-plus people on that flight that wanted to eject that kid out into space. The child was an infant. It was way too young to be on that plane for a 6 a.m. flight from Vegas. You know, I think, like, for example, that flight would have been so much better kid-free because people were just flat out pissed off.
Right. And and you're already irritable, let alone having that shit rubbed in your face, too.
Yeah, I mean, so there's within reasons, like, you know, when you're a parent, you don't want to book the 6 a.m. flight out of Vegas. You know, it's just like taking the first flight. I know one's from Mardi Gras, too. There's certain destinations where you might want to think for 2 seconds before you book a flight. And, you know, I know it's like, it's not anybody's fault. But at the same time, like, you can't expect the whole flight for 5 hours. And then she was walking up and down the aisle. The kid was screaming. It was a lose for the airline. It was a lose for the passengers. It was a loser for the flight attendants. A loser for the kid. It was a no-win situation that was really rough. Well, you guys have a lot more to say about this. Let's get to your comments right now because Tybox says 18 at least. Crime Pay says, just buy a pair of Beats. Bomish Yankee says, how long is one usually on an airplane? I bring headphones with me to drown out the noise anyhow. But Joel, you have headphones when you're on a plane, and they don't drown out like every sound. You're still going to hear a screaming kid.
You have to turn them up to the full volume. You can drown it out, but then other people can hear your music.
And then John Pleasy writes in, he says it really hurts their ears, especially babies. As soon as the captain starts dumping cabin pressure, they start crying. Any screaming baby is music to my ears. And then, Joel, you're going to love this one. Rocket Guitar is going to slam us a little bit on this one. I'll let you finish this up in a second. He says, I find it fascinating that you would choose this as a topic. As an adult with no children, you have no perspective regarding the care and behavior of kids. This is sad because you're not alone in this attitude. If you want to support parents and our future's children, our world is in deeper trouble than I ever thought. Children are the fruit and richness of all our lives. The inconveniences the kids project onto us and the price we pay is the price we pay for their love and the joy they bring us all. Deal with it. It will enrich your lives. Are you feeling like your life is enriched right now?
I'm feeling like it's enriched because I don't have any shithead kids. And by the way, it's no one's responsibility but yours. It takes a village shit. Now it's all your responsibility, 100% of it. So it's totally an individual's option to choose whether to have kids or not. You're the one being a dick if you're letting your kid do that shit.
Yeah, I mean, and also as a parent too, I mean, it's tough, but you gotta like be prepared to like pacify the kids and all. Give it a pacifier or something, you know? And I do think there probably is a point where kids are a little too young to be on an airplane. I mean, you want to expose them to germs and stuff like that too. I mean, it's great that Grandma Myrna wants to see little Blyley and Braden, you know, when they're 6 months old. But it's seriously, like, it's torture for everyone. You just chill out, you know? You don't need to fly right away. I mean, you know, and I'm sure we're going to get slammed by many parents for this. But Michael Fine has this comment I wanted to share. It's interesting. He says, no, there is never any guarantee that your fellow passengers won't be chatterboxes, gum poppers, snorers, or farters. Well, he does have a point there because I agree with him on that one. Sometimes passengers and their behavior can be as bad and juvenile as an infant.
Yeah, it's not really the point, but yes, sure.
All right, so put the question out on the polls. These polls always have the answers. So 2 polls this time. First one, should airlines have flights that are adults 18 plus only? I was surprised by this. 56% of you said no, they should not. 44 says yes. And then I asked, would you pay more for a flight that has no passengers under the age of 18? Aha, 53% of you still said no. 47 said yes. So these polls were damn tight, very nearly 50-50, but...
It's to be expected. I'm thinking most people are probably too cheap for that, or they're like that one dude who said, "Oh, I love children," blah 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 blah. That guy.
Yeah, I think the cheapest
people that love children. That should be like their own separate flight, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think the cheapness factor does come out there a little bit, but I do think the simplest answer is yes, the airline should offer certain flights, maybe one every few hours or something, that are adults only. Remember Hooters Air? Hooters Air was adults only, and yeah, okay, Hooters Air's not in business anymore, but it's nice to have that opportunity. So, and one thing you have an opportunity to do is put that like and subscribe button down below so you don't miss all the big fun here on the Jersey 50 YouTube channel. 4 big shows waiting for you each and every week, including my new game show, Caption This and Spin to Win, where you win an Amazon gift card for capturing the funny. So here we are, Joel. It's Bar Talk, as always, right here. You know what? Interesting conversation. We don't have the right or wrong answer, but it is something that's at least worth a good, friendly discussion.
Yeah. We established that part.
And one final thing, too, is we always also establish airlines love to tack on the fees. Who doesn't? Jersey Joe here, Eye in the Box, saying thanks for watching, thanks for chatting, and we'll see you next time, I hope.